Welcome to Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. This is episode 209 of Childcare Rockstar Radio, featuring Trina Romanowski and Shong. I am very excited today, guys. This mother-daughter pair, quite the outstanding team of leadership in early learning, is on the podcast with me today as my guests, and I cannot wait for you to meet them. We're calling it a family affair, tales of a multi-generational ECE company, the winners of our Partnership of the Year award last fall at the Childcare Success Summit. Ms. Taya and Trina, they are just very, very lovable, very, very heart-centered, and excited to lead with a big vision. They have 3 centers in Michigan, and young Taya, the daughter of the team, is very driven. She is an absolute visionary. I know this because I've worked with Taya and Trina one-on-one or two-on-one as their mindset coach, as well as, of course, working with them inside of the Childcare Success Academy. So we talk a lot about spark on this episode, igniting your inner spark and telling your story and being brave enough to step into something that you and you alone own. And that is your story and your why. And that one thing can ignite the spark of your leadership to your team. So the big question is, have you shared your vision? Have you thought about and pondered on and gotten clear on your vision for the next 3 years, 3 to 5 years inside of your company? And have you shared it with your team? Do they know the vision? Do they know where you're headed? Does it inspire and excite and motivate them? So that's one of the key things that will also help you stay out of a fearful mindset, because sharing your vision with your team sets the course and it gets everybody excited and enthused and energized and in a positive mindset around where you're headed. And that can reduce fear, anxiety, and just that questioning that goes on in people's minds. So if you haven't done that lately, that's going to be added to your to-do list today here on the podcast. We're in late August. If this is something you're listening to as it's releasing, almost September of 2025. And I personally am shifting gears into Summit, all things Summit prep, getting excited to be with y'all in 5 or 6 weeks in Atlanta. So if you still have not gotten your tickets, you need to go today, because the ballroom may actually already be sold out or very, very close to sold out. At this time of year, we always sell out. childcaresuccesssummit.com, and go get your tickets now if they're still available. And can't wait to see you there. We're going to have Ron Clark. We're going to have Gigi Schweikert, of course, myself on main stage, Jennifer Connor. Our coaches will all be there doing some main stage sessions and some breakouts, of course, and all the top talent in the early learning industry. So don't miss it. The best networking on the planet, the most fun of any childcare conference, dare I say, the most fun. I am a little bit biased since it is my baby, but childcaresuccesssummit.com. We talk about the spiritual mindset coaching piece on this episode as well. So if you're curious, from people that have done the work with me and that are on the path with me, you'll hear about that. But of course, talking about what sets their program apart, how they lead, how they keep their culture positive, how they engage their team, how they market their schools, and how they keep their leadership skills strong. So all that and more right now, right here on Childcare Rockstar Radio. Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast, folks. I've got a good one lined up for you today. I have a feeling. Shong and Trina Romanowski, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to have you ladies here. Where are you right now?
We're actually at home. We are in Hudson, Michigan.
Cool. And where in Michigan roughly is that? Give us a sense.
So just north of where Indiana and Ohio come together, and as you go into Michigan and go up, we're right there.
Okay, cool. Midwestern girls after my own heart. Being an Ohio girl myself. Love that. Tell us a little bit more about yourselves and your business. So if you, Taya, I'll have you go first and just tell us your role in your business, and then Trina can go.
Yeah. So my name is Taya Shong. I'm the executive director at Birth Toddlers and Beyond. So essentially, I oversee our directors at the center. My mom, Trina Romanowski, started Birth Toddlers and Beyond almost 30 years ago. It started as an in-home center and then grew to multiple locations pretty quick. We have one in Hudson, one in Adrian, and then our newest one is in Cement City, Michigan. On top of that, my mom not only is an educator, but so is my dad. So my mom teaches and has the centers, and then my dad is a high school math teacher. He has been a math teacher for the past 33 years. And on top of that, they're coaches too. So they coach middle school and high school track and cross country. So we kind of have both realms. We have the education world, which has its special people, and then we have the running world where it has their special group of people, and we kind of mash that all in and how kind of we run our business.
Awesome. Thanks. And Trina, tell us a little bit more about, so 30 years you've been in this journey.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to share about your schools or the journey that you've been on for these
So
three?
it's possible for anyone to do what I do. I actually started in an in-home. I graduated high school. I was starting college, not really sure, the exact path I wanted to go on, but I got a job at an in-home daycare in the basement of a lady's house, and that's how I started.
Wow.
And then my wheels just started turning like, oh, I had to take a vacation when she took her vacation. That's no good. And I just thought, man, if I did this myself, I could make so much more money. So the entrepreneur in myself came out, right?
Yeah.
So then I looked into what that would all entail. And it just so happens at that time that my mom had just purchased a house that previously had a daycare in its basement. So it was all set up for it. And I'm like, hey, mom, you can help your daughter out. And she agreed. So
Nice.
I moved and had my own in home daycare with
Mm,
me. And then my mom said, you know what? I'd like to join you. So it was my mom and myself in the
mm,
basement of her house for
mm,
years. Um,
mm.
my mom's brothers are builders and they're entrepreneurs themselves and they're always having the wheels spinning like how can we do more, do better? So then we thought, well, let's do a center. And I went back to school to get the education and my uncles helped build it to give us more of a cost effective and plus just to give us the knowledge of what it would take to build a building. I mean, there's a lot to know, right? Building codes and all of that.
Yes.
So we did that. And then my uncles got excited and then it's like, hey, let's do another center. And so from there, we did another one and then another one. And so
Cool.
we were doing good. We just decided Taya wanted to go into the big company as well. And I'm like, oh, there's so much stress. Like, maybe just be a teacher like your dad, but that didn't work out for her. She really, really just had her heart for the company. And
Hmm.
just with a little bit of some creative differences with my mom before, and then having Taya's fresh brain from college. Sometimes it's hard to change an old brain in old ways. And I was just on that band, I guess, where I was willing to. So Taya and I kind of divided the company off a little bit and went off and my mom kept a company and I kept two. And then with Taya's help, we built another one, an even bigger one. So we've definitely changed from being a small in-home center to just basically keeping everyone alive and healthy and learning basic stuff to now a company that's doing all of this curriculum and screeners and just being that next stop notch childcare center,
Hmm.
kind of where we're at now. So
Yeah.
big
Like
long
true.
journey.
Awesome. And truly a high quality program, 3 locations. How many children do you serve total? What's your total capacity across the 3 locations?
Roughly 250 between all of them.
Cool. Love it. A multi-generational company. And I love how you said that, truly, when you put your mind to it, you can really go beyond where you even imagine that you could go. And you kind of like started out talking about being a little bit, being entrepreneurial in your approach and thinking bigger, and definitely family, a creation of all the different family members. I love it so much. I'm sure that can sometimes get a little bit, having come from a family owned business myself with my dad and my brother in the Bolt factory. And I've told that story before. You love it, but it's sometimes also your family members can drive you nuts. I'm just going to say it. Right.
It can happen, but I think I say this a lot because I hear that from a lot of people that have partnerships. And I think honestly I think we're both pretty well open and can talk about stuff that is bothering us.
Yeah.
So I think that works for us though.
Cool. I love it. You guys were awarded at the last Childcare Success Summit event last fall, the Partnership of the Year award.
We were.
So congratulations again. I wanted just to give you a shout out for that here on the podcast. And were you surprised when your names were called?
I don't know, kinda.
I was surprised. Cause you apply and you don't know how many people applied, what it all entails. And so yeah, I was surprised.
Cool. Yeah, I loved having you guys come up and having you receive your award, and being a representative of excellence and high quality in the ECE field. It's awesome. And also Academy members that are doing amazing things, right? Like that's what those awards are for, is to really recognize owners, directors, and partners who are going above and beyond and pushing yourselves to that next level of achievement and excellence. So way to go.
Thank you.
Love it. You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about your home life. What are you guys, just tell us a little bit each. I guess, Taya, you go first. Are you married? Do you have kids? Just tell us a little bit about what you like to do in your personal time.
Yeah. So I am married and we have a son. He is almost 2 now and he is wild as all get out. He goes to our Cement City location and I love it because I get to see like that parent side of it. So love that. On my free time, since having Brooks, running has kind of taken a back seat. But with my parents being coaches, running was always just something we did together. But coming back from postpartum it's been its own journey for me. So a lot of my time has just been just with Brooks and my husband and loving having a family and being together.
Cool. And what is a fun fact about you that not that many people know, Taya?
Not that many people know that. Well, I kind of a two-parter. I was ranked 3rd in the nation for the NAIA marathon before COVID hit, and I didn't get to compete in it. So I came back as soon as they let people run those races again and ran the Grand Rapids Marathon, and I won it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun fact.
That's amazing.
Taya loves fun facts.
Yeah.
At our staff meeting, she'll say fun fact. And so it's kind of cute. I love that.
Trina, how about you? What's a fun fact about you?
Fun fact. I don't know if it's fun fact, but it's a fact that most people don't know. I have 2 middle names, Jean and Diane. My mom named me after both of her sisters.
I think I saw that is your TikTok or Instagram incorporates your middle names?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Love that. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you're obviously married to a high school educator, math teacher.
Yeah.
And you guys have been married for a while and have a bunch of kids, right?
Yep, this year is 29 years. So next year I will be 50 and I will be married 30 years. So next year is
Wow.
a big thing in March,
Wow,
September.
you
So
guys got married young.
I did. My husband's older than me. So that's a
Oh,
fun
okay.
fact. Oh, here's
Oh.
another fun fact, actually. And I don't know if I dare tell, but it is what it is, honesty. And this, I love
Yeah.
honesty. My husband, I actually first met him. He was doing his student teaching in high school, and I was one of his students.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
later on, I met up with him again after hours, after a night
Uh-huh.
out, and I said, "Hey, I need some tutoring in my college math class. Do you think you can help me?" And then it was history from there.
There you go. I love that. That's a very fun fact. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Love that. Let's talk about birth toddlers and beyond. Uh, Tell us a little bit about your unique differences, what sets your program apart, and also what are you really proud of at your schools?
Yeah, so I think what sets us apart a lot is that not only did we build all of our locations, but also we really value not only being a great place to learn, but a great place to teach. So coming from a family of not only educators but coaches, that's what we take into our center. So at my level, I'm coaching the directors on how to be really good directors, and then the directors are coaching the teachers on how to be the best teachers and so on and so forth. And so there's this big support going on and a lot of coaching. Our mission is to ignite the spark. If that speaks on the passion and all that goes with it, I think that's what truly sets us apart than other programs. And then just really valuing nature as an aspect of our program as well.
Tell me more about that. How do you incorporate nature?
Yeah, so we try and use natural elements within the center, a lot of natural colors, a lot of natural materials, and then each of our locations has a different way that it incorporates like the outdoor nature. One of our locations is on 10 acres, so we have a half-mile long nature trail.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, in the summer, our school agers love it because they get to go out and like build stick forts. Um,
And I think my husband and my father, actually, my father helps with the company too. He loves to mow and make nature trails. So I think it's a big thing for them too. They're like, we're going out today to make more trails for the kids.
mhm.
I love that. That's so sweet. I bet the kids love that too.
They do.
Yes, they
Did the
do.
kids have a name for your dad?
Mr. Ron.
Nice. Mr. Ron. I love
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. Good. Um, with coaching the directors and having your directors coach the teachers, talk a little bit about how you have come into that structure. Like, how have you set that up, or how has that changed and morphed over the past few years, where you're continuing to evolve this element of coaching inside of your schools? Just talk a little bit more about how you structure that and how you set that up.
Well, first of all, I think we need to give shout outs to this organization. Because if
Absolutely.
Taya wouldn't have ever talked me into joining here, I would still be the director and drowning and trying. I could never be in the position where I'm at coaching and inspiring people.
Cool.
And maybe not even having that third center because it's just so heavy. You just got to learn to delegate and be that. So
Well, yeah, until Cement City got up, and well, even when it first opened, we were on the floor. So this is only year 3 of Cement City being open, and for the first 6 months, we were in the day-to-day, getting that up and going. So really, the stepping out, putting someone in, and coaching has only been going on for about roughly almost 2 years. Uh,
Hmm.
so when we stepped out, that was super scary,
yeah.
because you didn't like, you think you know what you need to look for, and you learn real quick that probably you needed to look for something different. So right now, how we do it is we have our Zooms that we do with our admin. So we have our one-on-one every week. We have our collective coaching call with them every week as well. So we're meeting with them individual and then together. And then on top of that, we have a daily email that goes back and forth between the centers, and we're telling all that information. So here's what's going on, and then we could give suggestions. So they're getting feedback a little bit quicker. But how I think we're evolving from that
Mhm.
is we finally are pulling the trigger on a VA.
Yeah.
And we're hopefully the VA is going to do a lot of the back end stuff so that maybe we get rid of that daily email, and we just have those 2 meetings with the directors every week, and then they get maybe to own a little bit more of what they're doing, because I think right now we're still um, assisting and giving our 2 cents quite a bit.
It's an evolution, Kris.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anytime you join in, like when we first joined the academy, it
Mhm.
seemed overwhelming to me.
Yes.
And then little by little, we just took little pieces, little by little. So I encourage anyone who first starts, if you feel that way, just stay with it. Be patient with yourself. Do little
Mhm.
by little. And little by little, we learn more from our coaches and from you, Kris, on just how to be a better entrepreneur and a strong woman in this field, and keep reaching for those higher goals.
Yeah. So I love that you shared that joining the academy was a big part of your growth. Being with the coaches in the academy can then give you a model for how to then take that coaching and then coach your own team, which is what you're doing. And it's
Mhm.
evolving. I love the daily email because most organizations inside of childcare, most ECE companies would not be that communication forward with their teams. Every day they're getting an update on what's going on, what's the news of the day, what should I be looking for, watching for. That's amazing. So who does that daily email? Taya, do you do that?
Yeah, they send them to me, and then I take whatever my mom needs to know, and I say, "Hey, here's a recap of what I need help with, and here you go." And so,
I used to be tagged in it, and then we are looking for my buyout plan. So I said, well, part of that I need to do a little less in that area. So that's why
Right.
I'm like, you can just now send me just the stuff that I need to be aware of, and
Yeah, just the highlights. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Love that. Yeah. So you're consciously looking to where you can delegate more, Trina, and you're trying to disconnect yourself just slowly over time because next year you're turning 50. So you're going to be excited to continue on this journey of delegation. And we've worked together on delegate and elevate and continue. So I love that you're getting the VA. That's very, very cool. And that will be very helpful, I think. And so, yeah, thanks for sharing all that. That's amazing. Um, there was something about so tell me a little bit more about when you joined the academy. And Taya, was it something like you found out about it and then you told your mom, and then like, tell me more about that process? Cause sometimes can be a struggle for people to actually jump in fully because there's a lot of emotions that can go around that decision. So tell me more about that.
well, I taught a year of kindergarten before deciding that kindergarten just wasn't early ed. And when I figured that out, I wanted to go into business with my mom. And when I was going into business with her, um, I was put in a little bit of a bigger role right away, and I wanted to know what I was talking about. So I was looking for resources all over. I was listening to podcasts. I was doing Audible. Anything I could to gain information, I was doing it. And I had came across the podcast, um, and I listened to it every day to and from work. I had a 45-minute commute each way. And like I said, every day I'd run with my mom. So back when we were working in the company, I drove 45 minutes and arrived at work at 5:30 to open the center. We worked, and then when we had a break, we would run together on lunch, and then we'd wrap up and I would drive home and then get up and do it all over again. So
Wow.
every day we were running together, talking about big plans. I was talking about this podcast, and every time I brought it up, it was, no, it's too much money. We just can't do that right now. Okay. So I'd wait a little bit and I'd bring it up. Well, I heard this on the podcast today, and I heard that on the podcast today. And I said, I just really think we need to do it. So after the consistency of we need to do it, my mom said, all right, we'll give it a try, but I'm not saying that we're going to be able to stick with it. And here, how many years? 3 years in the
Yeah.
3 years in the academy, and we're still doing it.
Well, when you come from my mindset, that it is a big investment.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's the way I was raised with business. Those things were engraved into my brain of how, to be, be cautious, this and that, and money. And, but which is weird because I am that entrepreneur. You know what I mean? I had those visions
Sure.
growing, but sometimes you can get stuck in other stuff. So it was hard for me, but it was the best investment we've made in the company. So once again, I encourage you, if you're on the teeter of it, at least give it a year and see what you think. I guarantee you'll stick with it. There's so much knowledge and support in this community that it's almost something you just got to have.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I love that you guys came from listening to this podcast. For some reason, that wasn't in my head. I didn't remember that. I don't know if you told me that before and I forgot, but I love the full circle of it because now you're here and sharing your story and you're paying it forward to all of the people that are listening that might be in the exact same position that you were in. So I just love that.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's talk about leadership. So you shared about your coaching and the way that you're structuring it. In terms of the ways that you engage your team, because, what I know about working with you is that you go above and beyond for families. And today's families are more stressed and potentially more, facing a lot of challenges, more so, I think, than where we've, than ever. Like anxiety is at an all-time high, and parenting challenges of kids who have either special needs issues or behavioral issues is also potentially at an all-time high. So how do you keep your team from getting burnt out? How do you keep them going forward to your vision and your core values? And what are ways that either you use staff appreciation, motivation, communication, team building? Talk about any kind of tactics that you use for those kinds of things.
Yeah. Right now we have a lanyard system that we're trying out. This is when I don't know. Oh, well, we rolled it out. I guess it would have been going into the school year. So August will be a year of trying the lanyard system out. On our lanyards, it has our slogan, so ignite the spark. And then the card itself is a picture of them and their name, and then it has our core values right on it. And the directors can go around and give them gems, so like little sticky gems, and put it on their lanyard every time they're displaying a core value. So I think that is a good little, okay, you're doing a great job.
Reminder. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're testing that out still. I get mixed feedback. It's great. Lanyards are not great because the kids, pull on them. So I don't know if we'll continue with that, but that is something that was almost been implemented for about a year.
Talk to them about our award banquet and our little
Yeah,
survivor
okay.
trophy.
So we got this idea from the academy, and I can't remember who posted it, but there's a company that does like game shows. And we chose Survivor, and because it's kind of that nature-ish theme. And so we have a whole week-long Survivor week, and every day the staff come in and they spin the wheel and they have to do a different challenge. And then in order to get the points for the challenge, they have to post them completing it on our teacher Facebook page. And then at the end of the week, we have an awards banquet. We have food catered. We give out core value awards. We give out
Years of service
service awards. And then we also give out whoever won. We give out it as a group. So what center won Survivor, and they get this little, they call it the Ignite the Spark trophy. And it's like this little tiki doll and it glows up. So that's what we've been doing the past 2 years to kind of bring that camaraderie around. I think definitely spirits are very high going into that week and a couple weeks post.
Cool. Love that. That's super fun. And you guys have a teacher only like private Facebook group that they're in together? Okay. So they like share in there and stuff?
Yeah. And we can
cool.
share inspiration, but we're getting ready, which I just downloaded and I'm entering right now, Sling. Coach Jody uses Sling, and
Oh, yeah.
we might transfer to that. To
As an
post
app?
on. Yeah, and their
Right.
schedule can be on there, and then we can make groups for people to communicate in, and so we're looking into that
Nice.
now. Yeah,
Nice.
I
So
think
that's,
it's important
I'm not,
oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
I think it's important too that I hear this a lot from our staff. We back our staff. So if there is a child they just cannot handle, I think it's very important to know for your teachers to know that they can be heard
Mhm.
and that we're going to back them and problem solve. And if we just can't keep that hard student, we can't keep that hard student. So
Yeah, just to add on that, Coach Jay, I think shared one of her posts. It was the Hey Rule follower. She has TikToks, and on there she talked about how we should be supporting centers that say, listen, this student exceeds the needs. Their needs exceed what we can care for, and then letting them go instead of expecting a child care center, which parents do expect no matter what the student, who the student is, what the needs are, to just have them. And then it's only a matter of time till something happens. And then you lose either way. You're either mad that they disenrolled or mad because now a big accident happened.
Yeah. I definitely am a huge fan of spending time pre-enrollment with the family and with the child as much as possible to make sure that they're going to be a fit, and setting up the parent code of conduct and letting parents know the rules and repeating, not only in the parent handbook, but setting those expectations up front as much as possible. So it's very, very clear that we're not available to serve 100% of children. Like that's an impossible expectation, right? So it's your business, and you absolutely have the empowerment to run it the way you want to. That will support your team and support the other kids, and I think that's a mindset that a lot of people, because y'all are such huge-hearted caregivers, you never want to turn away a child.
no.
It's like the hardest thing I think that you guys have to struggle with and grapple with. But yeah, just definitely, I love that. And so some people that are listening to this podcast might have just gotten an aha about that. But definitely taking that into action and supporting and protecting the rest of your team and the rest of the children. So thanks for sharing that. Let's talk a little bit about marketing. So we are in the academy, obviously giving you lots of strategies around enrollment bootcamp and helping you stay full or get full. And it's definitely a focus because we want to help you pick up all the money off your table. So since you joined the academy, what have you learned about enrollment or marketing strategies? How have you changed what you do in the management or the tours of your school? Just talk a little bit more about that.
I think if there's one thing that I can say made the biggest difference would just be investing in a CRM system. I know that was like one of the first things we did after joining the academy, but if there's anyone listening that's like, where do I even, what's one thing I could do today that's going to make a difference, is getting a CRM system.
Yeah, for sure. You guys use IntelliKids or Line Leader?
We use Line Leader.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Trina.
And then I think we really spiced up our interviews. We have a slideshow now that talks about the history of our company. So people are, know who the owners are and what our background is. They're not just any Joe off the street. We have a history and education, right?
Mm-hmm.
So using the slideshows and giving them that little bag of just like a little goodie in there, and plus just a little bit of information around their child's age, developmental information. I think those have been good assets that we've added to our interviews.
So I absolutely love that you're telling your story. I think that's a huge writer downer for people. I think that ECE owners are very sometimes reluctant and shy about telling their story. You have an amazing story. Everybody has something about their story that is interesting and fun. That's why I always ask a fun fact on the podcast. And you have a multi-generational story, and it's very, very cool. So and you've got Mr. Ron out back making come on, you got the path maker back there. Let's go. Come on.
He's not only a path maker, but he is also a garden keeper.
Yeah.
You get fresh vegetables too in the summer.
What parents would not love that? That is like so charming. And that's the juice in your marketing, guys. That's what I always pull out for people in their marketing message, because, somebody might have a splash pad. Somebody might have the same nature program as you, probably not. But if they did, the thing that you have that nobody else has is your story. Nobody can ever, have the same story as you. And so tell it. So I love that. I love that you did the slideshow that brings it to life. Right.
Yeah. Well, my mom put me, when I went into the center, she's like, okay, well, you're going to do tours now. And here's how I do it. And she gave me a binder. And I'm like, I gave my first tour and I said, Mom, this is not it. So I created.
Hey, the binders, man. Come on.
Still had pictures in it, words.
Yeah.
Graphic. Had a picture of me when I was 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got to spice that up a little bit. But yeah.
You spiced up the binder and you made it a multimedia slideshow.
Yeah.
Love that.
Now we're on Canva.
Nice.
Binder to Canva.
Woo. Love
now
Canva.
Off Canva.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. See, so I love that, Taya's bringing the young energy, the youthful, like higher tech version. And then we've got more of the old school core values and the foundational stuff. And I love that so much. I'm 58, so I'm definitely more in the Trina camp than I am in the Taya camp, but it's okay. I'm in both. I love it. So I can't love it more. What is a lesson that you guys learned? What's something that you overcame that was a challenge that you felt maybe was a dark day and you just stuck with it and you kept on it and you overcame it?
Negative media.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, I think it's that mind shift from, because it was us, our business heavy of, no, we can accommodate anyone. We just have to, when we were in the center as admin, we just have to coach that staff on how to do it. And me, I have my master's in early ed and I'm like, no, we got this. But it was a huge mind shift to say, okay, no, the student who's coming in and doing whatever it is that's not safe, that teacher cannot safely watch that student and the other students at the same time. So I think that was a huge mind shift. And when we made that mind shift and started disenrolling, then you got the negative media because they're like, well, you did it for this long. What changed your mind? Well, safety changed our mind. So that was huge.
Safety and just appropriateness of the classroom. And with, there's more challenges with children now. And just trying to help parents understand the whole backstory behind everything. Like, we're really trying to do the best for your child. We're trying to partner with you to find a center that would be more appropriate for your child so that they could flourish more. Instead of keeping them in the center that, the ratio may be too loud, too much noise, it's stressing them, versus putting them maybe in an in-home or maybe in an ISD type program that can do that smaller ratio or give those extra services they need.
So I think that's a big, that's a big component of so many childcare owners' journeys, is being kind of leading from a fear-based mindset, or being afraid to disenroll, or being afraid to let go of an employee because of ratio, or because of that, you almost feel beholden to those people, that you know that they're not a good fit for you, but you're afraid to tell them that. Absolutely. to separate from them. And that is probably the hugest leadership challenge or mindset challenge I've seen over the last 15 years of being in this industry. And it's just a fear that you have to get over. Like, once you do it and you shift into your power place as a leader, and you pull up your bootstraps or your big girl pants and you go after it, and you start to get into a habit of being able to feel more confident and to not be so fear-based in your mindset. So I definitely have noticed a change in you guys over the last 3 years of being able to separate from people that should not be part of your journey. They're not a fit. And just seeing it like that, seeing it more objectively instead of, oh, so much having your power in them versus reclaiming your power back is something I love that you shared that. So let's talk a little bit about the reclaiming power piece related to working with me. So you guys worked with me then separately from the academy in what I call spiritual mindset coaching or awakened leadership coaching. And we did work on reclaiming power, and we did work on your deservingness so that you can feel more, yes, stronger, yes, more confident, but inside of you, you just don't have that pull, that emotional trigger. We worked on a lot of emotional triggers. So talk a little bit about how you feel now compared to when we started working together in February as leaders or just as human beings. What's changed for you, or just share anything that you want to about that journey.
So I think just remembering self-love, you know,
Mhm.
everyone loves themselves, right? You like stuff about yourself, but just remembering that whole self-love and putting yourself first. Just like they say on the airplane, if you don't put your mask on first, you're not going to be able to help others. And I think I personally struggled with that line of that.
Yes.
But I'm getting so good at Kris. You'd be so proud of me. I can't wait to hear these stories, but yeah. So just being confident with myself, and I am me. I may make mistakes, but it's okay. God
Yeah,
is good, and He has me here for a reason. So
that's right.
go me.
Cool. Yeah, you're diving back into your open heart, into your self-love. It sounds like you're in a place of expandedness in your own, just honoring yourself more
Yeah.
fully. So I love that. Taya, how about you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that stuck with me, we mentioned it a lot during our work together, would be the teeter-totter, and that life is going to constantly bring you in the ups and downs, but we need to try and stay in the middle of the teeter-totter. So whenever something happens and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is triggering me, just trying to detach myself from that emotion and then looking at it like an entrepreneur, like it's a game, and trying to figure out the puzzle pieces and knowing that whatever happens to me is happening for me, not to me. So
Hmm.
that's been a big mind shift for me.
Hmm.
I love that second last piece there because that honestly, those words come to my mind like, okay, this is not happening to me. God is making this happen for me because there's a lesson. So
Yeah.
step back from your emotions
Mhm.
and figure out that, like, why is it happening? Right. And
Hmm.
just taking that deep breath. It's okay to have those emotions. You are going to feel that heaviness. And just remembering that that's okay. It's okay to still have that. What matters is what you do next.
Mhm.
That deep
Right.
breath, you're getting back to centered and you're moving forward.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah. The centeredness is huge. And I love that you also shared just feeling the emotions, acknowledging the discomfort. Like we all go through emotions. It's like, oh, I'm going through a process. Okay. And yeah, that, thank you guys for sharing that. I love it so much. Any final thoughts? Where are you guys headed in the remainder of 2025? And anything that you would like to share with the audience as we get to the close of this episode?
We're headed to continue to grow and get these processes down. And I think we're in a good path. Um,
Yeah, usually I'm one who's like, I can tell you what's going to happen from here all the way to like my 5-year plan. But right now, I just feel like we're in a season of a little bit of change. So I don't know.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
hiring that VA. We're getting Sling on, just a little bit of a season of change right now. So see where it goes.
What I'm hearing from you is that you're more present with just where you are. And then you're not putting a lot of power expectation on yourself for the future. And I love that. It's just, we're here for each other. We're present, excited about the future, but also just enjoying today.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good way of putting it. I'd agree.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being with me today. Very inspirational story. And I know the audience has gotten lots of writer downers from this episode. And I just want to honor you and thank you for all of your contributions to the early childhood field, the excellence that you brought, the family approach, the multi-generational, and making a difference for kids in your corner of Michigan. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you've done for us.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome. And we'll also put links to your website and your socials in the show notes for people that want to find you.
Okay.
Birth, toddlers, and beyond.
Mhm.
And love having you guys in the academy, and just love having you as friends. So
Us as well.
yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Take care and God bless. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. I hope you liked this episode of Childcare Rockstar Radio. If you did, please leave a review and share it with someone you know to help spread the word to friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, I've got a new video training that shows you how to add 6 figures or more of new revenue to your program in the next 60 days by improving your hiring and your enrollment systems. To watch my new video, just go to www.fixmyschool.com. That's fixmyschool.com. Thanks. Take care and God bless.